Good afternoon. It is August 23rd, 2021, and today we were all uphill. Um, yeah, starting from when the market opened yesterday, this trend started, and not sure if this was the trend you should be playing, this lighter colored trend, or this channel in here. I think this channel was definitely valid, and we'll take a look. I looked at it as a little spike in channel. But either way, it breaks at the same location. So not a lot of second entry longs. Most of these are failures, I'm pretty sure, and some of them are even first entries, because this looked like a runaway trend to me. Very small corrections, and right here is when, because we broke through overnight highs, maybe like right here. This looked like a very strong trend that Mac describes. We're making higher highs and higher lows, but there are a lot of dojis in here. And then we make these 1-2 legs up that were strong legs up, and then it forms a little spike down into a channel up with dojis and higher highs and higher lows. So at that point, you get a really good setup here, and then you can just be aggressive this whole way up. And then we broke into this range, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything to go short on here, but let's take a look at these marked trades, and I'll go over the overnight too, because I actually got in on this reversal. But anyway, when you come in at 5 a.m. Pacific time, I didn't see a whole lot going on. We had a break of this channel, then this leg of correction, and what's it look like? Probably 5 o'clock is somewhere in here. And you get a, see, here is when you're like starting to think maybe this is a strong uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, and you get this first entry, second entry. It's aggressive, but it looked like yeah, it looked like we're in a strong uptrend. This is a 5-hour trend up right here. From here to here is like 4.5 hours of higher highs and higher lows. So if you want to be aggressive, that's a second entry long. Yeah, it also looks like a first entry failed second entry short as well. So that's another reason I like it. And a lot of people probably played it as such. You get a higher low here. I don't think you can really enter on that. This is a failed second entry short, and to me, this is like, it's looking strong here. So failed second entry short here. First failed second entry short, and this time it's off the EMA, so I marked that as blue. And really the channel I was playing was this channel off these lows, these closes. That felt good for me, and it worked. So failed second entry short, higher low right here, failed second entry short. This would probably be swept in with people who went long above here, and a second entry long as well. And then you get a first entry, failed second entry short. This looks like an awesome bear trap to go long above, but here's the failed second entry short. First entry, second entry, and I also looked at this as a failed second entry short. I think it's technically a third entry. I would look at, oh, this is the second entry though. Okay, so, and it's a double bottom. First entry, second entry. So you could kind of look at this as a failure, but that's also just a second entry long off the midline. I'm pretty sure I took this. I'm not too crazy about this one. But yeah, this is it looks like and feels like a runaway trend. So I'm not crazy about it, but only on these days can you take an entry like this, because look how far it is from the EMA, and the signal bar is not great. But anyway, this is really just the first entry. But if once it ticks higher, it's a really big bearish bar. It's off of these potential trend lines. It's off of the EMA, and this is a runaway trend. That's how I was looking at this. And this, we're not getting a lot of second entry longs, or we're not getting any really. So anyway, first entry, this is the second entry long, boom. And this is, look, you can see at this point, by the time this bar filled, this is just, it's a runaway trend. So that breaks higher. First entry failed, second entry short right here. You would have had a heart attack on this next bar, but it works as long as you follow the rules and put your stop loss one tick below the signal bar. Again, just the first entry, but it's off the EMA and the trend lines here. First entry, second entry. So this didn't make a lower high here, but it felt like people probably went long above this bar, treating that as like a second entry because it made a higher low. And so when this bar traps those people, it goes higher and then lower. This just felt like the true second entry, and it's off the trend lines, both potential trend lines. So stuff like that, it's hard to see unless you're watching it in person. This is kind of like a double bottom here. First entry failed, second entry short, but first entry, that's really the if you were playing the failure, this is the real one. Failed second entry. This, yeah, I think people, the only reason I marked that was because I was looking at it in real time, but that doesn't look, yeah, that looks like a third entry, so you shouldn't be looking at that anyway. This kind of looks like a second entry. Long. I don't know if I should mark that though. This is a double top too. It's just, I don't know, but there weren't a lot of good setups today. All right, so finally we get this break of the channels, the potential channels. This is the break. At least I didn't consider this a break. It just didn't feel like it. It could have been though, but break here, first leg up, and really now we're just going sideways. Looks like we might have gotten a reversal. This looks like a potential place to go short. I had this red line marked because that was like the all-time highs from the other day. But anyway, we get this leg down of correction, and it looks like this would be a hidden failure. I mean, you shouldn't be going short after that trend just ended, but this looks like the hidden failure. You get a first entry, comes down, back to the EMA, and down again, and it ticks higher here. So one tick below that, you would have gotten a scalp. And then here, people looking for the true failure. You get first entry, failed second entry, but first of all, you shouldn't be going short after this quickly after this uptrend ended. But second of all, that doji right there should keep you out of this. But you can tell that's a, and I was hoping we would get a, not that I would have taken the trade, but I was hoping we would get a first failed second entry short above the EMA, but that just didn't happen. Well, I guess this, yeah, and I looked at this as that. But that had broken the trend, so that made this more aggressive. If this was on the trend line, this failure, I think it'd be a blue arrow. So yeah, you get this failure, and you get this bar, and I guess, yeah, this ticks lower, so you get like a higher low off that. So I like that. I like it when this bar closes. Yeah. Failed second entry short and a higher low. And yeah, you can't really, maybe soon you could go short if this trend develops down, but I don't see one leg up, two legs up, maybe. We didn't make a new high. So this could be the break. And we get one leg up, two legs up. That kind of looks like a measured move too. Came up short. But it's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know if you guys read the morning chart or mid-morning chart from Mac, but he said he had a target of 44.84, and look, comes up to 44.8575, and it looks like it might be reversing now. So that's what I saw today, and we'll take a look at the trades I took. And I'm really just trying to practice restraint, because we just had some over trading last week that I'm just not here for. Not here for that. So yeah, I set up my chart the day before, so in the morning I don't have to just be bothered with setting up and stuff. And yesterday we had this failed second entry short that I liked. We make a higher low here. Let me take this off. We made a higher low here, and a higher low here, and a higher low here. So, and we're making higher highs as well. So I like that. First failed second entry short. But this is a new day, so I actually looked at it like first failed second entry short, and I entered above this bar. And unfortunately, this one measly tick on my runner stopped me out, or else I would have had like a 10-point runner, but it was just like a 1.5-point runner or something. So I do like that trade. That was my signal bar. And then took 2 trades this morning. And yeah, this one right here. So I was watching this, and by this point, I'm thinking like, I think this is a runaway trend. All these little dojis and small corrections. So I'm like, I think it was on this bar. I was like, this looks like a second entry long. And then I started ticking lower, and during this signal bar is when I saw that this is a first failed second entry short, and I was like, I like that. So I just entered on a limit order. I think maybe right here, and that got filled. Unfortunately, no runner. And then yeah, here I took this trade. This is a second entry. I think this is too eager. I don't like it really. I mean, it's a second entry, so technically I followed the rules. But I also had my trend line improperly drawn. I think maybe like this, so it looked like it was off the trend line. So that's another reason I took it, and I wasn't like beating myself up for taking it. But I don't know. Maybe I don't see why my trend line would have been drawn like that, really. But yeah, that's the third trade I took. I'm not crazy about it, not beating myself up just because it's a second entry. And I'm happy that I just held out for the rest of the day, because I was pretty strong uptrend. And look, I was like, oh, maybe you would enter here, and that worked. And here, that worked. Here, I had a little heart attack even though I didn't enter, but it worked. This first entry would have worked. This, what looks like a second entry, would have worked. This failure would have worked. So now we're pulling back. So that's what I saw today, and that's what those are the trades I took. So I hope everyone had a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow.